Hello students, in this section we are going to discuss about ecological niche concept in ecology. So first we should know concept of habitat first. What is habitat? It is an environment where organisms live, or it includes all parameters like biotic and abiotic factors. Means an environment where organisms are going to live and they fulfill all their necessary conditions with meeting all their biotic as well as abiotic factors. Or in another way, we can say area where an organisms grow and satisfies its needs. That means this area can be a forest, it can be an ocean, it can also be in a desert. So in any given area, when an organism is going to satisfy its all needs, that is said to be its habitat. Now, apart from this habitat, then we have to study about niche. What is niche? All the parameters needed by an organism to live and successfully reproduce in a healthy way is called a niche. That means the organism has to meet all the parameters which are needed by an organism and successfully it can reproduce in a healthy way. That means, in other words, we can say a niche is a small unit of habitat, or the smallest unit of habitat, which sometimes is said to be the functional unit of the habitat. That means अगर हम habitat की बात करेंगे तो habitat एक बड़ा सा unit होगा, उसका एक छोटा सा unit जो होगा वो niche होगा. Say for example, if this whole sphere is a habitat and I'm telling about niche, here we can say a small area is occupied by a particular species. This small area is said to be niche. That means we can say what all this whole sphere is called habitat, and a part of habitat. That means niche is actually the smallest part of the habitat. It actually defines the part of habitat where a species actually exists. That means we can say this niche. Now niche has two types. Basically niche has two types. Now what are the types of niche? The first type is called the fundamental niche and the second one is called the realized niche. Now fundamental niche, when we talk of fundamental niche, it is that part of niche in which, that type of niche in which organisms live in coordination, that is without disturbing each other or they do not interfere each other. That means any niche in which various organisms are going to live but they do not have any sort of competition, they do not exist or struggle with each other, they live in proper coordination, or we can say they do not disturb each other or they do not interfere with each other because they are having their different moods and they are having their different food resources. So this niche is larger in area and there is no competition and there is different food habitats, that because every species is going to feed on the food resources which is different from other species. So there is no sort of competition or there is no sort of disturbance or interference. When we talk of realized niche, it is a niche in which various organisms live in competition and they interfere or disturb each other. तो एक स्पीशीज, बहुत सारी स्पीशीज जब एक पर्टिकुलर एरिया में रहते हैं, उनके बीच में जब फूड सोर्सेस के लिए, क्लाइमेटिक कंडीशंस के लिए, मैटिंग के लिए, कुछ और फैक्टर्स के लिए उनके बीच में इंटरफेरेंस होगा, उनके बीच में डिस्टरबेंस होगी या उनके बीच में कंपटीशन होगा, that niche is called a realized niche. Now here it is written as it is smaller. इसका साइज जो होता है वो small होता है. Now I must tell you why it is smaller. If it is a fundamental niche, तो here various species are going to coexist. बहुत सारी species यहाँ पे रह रही है, but they are different, living in their differential areas. ये एक particular area occupy करता है. हर एक species एक particular area को occupy करेगी. तो so we can say there is no competition in between them. That means whenever they are apart from each other, they covers a lot of surface, a lot of area. But if I am telling in case of realized niche, इसमें क्या होता है, बहुत सारी species एक दूसरे के साथ रह रहे हैं. Why so? Because they are compressed. because they do not allow each other to live freely. They are dependent on each other in respect of the resources which they are utilizing. So we can say it is smaller as compared to the fundamental niche, and it is exact to the actual niche or the accurate niche we can say. बिकॉज यहाँ पे आप देखोगे निश का कॉन्सेप्ट यही होता है कि एनवायरनमेंट में एक ऑर्गेनिज्म की पर्टिकुलर जगह क्या होती है, इसकी पर्टिकुलर जगह जो होगी वी कैन एक्सप्लेन इट इन बेटर वे एज कंपेयर टू फंडामेंटल निश. So it has intense competition. That means the competition frequency is high in case of realized niche. There is proper interference. There is disturbance. They disturb each other because they have the similar resources. They are fighting or struggling for the same resources. And this niche is smaller in size. I have already told. It was about ecological niche. Now in the next section we will discuss about evolution.